Hello. Game week 28. Here we are. All right, let's get this team up. Hey team, how are we? Sorry about that. Who's in the chat? Let me know. What is happening for game week 28? Hey, my friend, how are you? Long time no speak. What's happening? Sabanonda. What is happening, my friend? Hey, Charlie Bird. Wilson versus Dango would have to bench one of them or Taverner or Rogers for the next 4 weeks. Charlie, is that to bring one of them in as a transfer this game week? And why would you have to bench them for the next 4 game weeks? Your team must be great. Sorry guys, I'm just getting my takeaway order in. I mean, I really like Harry Wilson. Attackers at Bruno, Ekitike, Haaland, Thiago. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think Harry Wilson would be the play. I already have him, so I don't need to be worrying about him. But yeah, Harry Wilson, and then we'd have to bench one of them. So Tavernier is tough because he only played 10 minutes. So there's a good chance, Charlie, that Tavernier might be benched this game week and then play midweek, or he might start this game week and then be benched in the, like, if he's been injured for so long, I'd be really surprised if he just came straight back in to the starting lineup, particularly for 2 game weeks in really quick succession. So, but then also, Charlie, my question to you would be: is that if you're having to bench, if you've got such strong benching headaches, why do you need to make a transfer? But yeah, if I was you and I was making a transfer this week, Charlie, it would be Harry Wilson. I feel like Harry Wilson is a really nice pick for the next 4. Hey, Emmanuel, how are you, my friend? Yeah, there's a chance. I need to look at. To be honest, I need to actually have a. I haven't had a good enough look at the stats, because not only are Leeds very good at home, but they have this thing about being particularly great under the lights. And Palace played last night in Europe. You know, United are at home, so yeah, there's definitely a chance. I'd at the very least stick my vice captain on him. I don't know why it was on. Don't want a badge. Seems to be really pushing this badge thing. I'd say you get more Tavernier a day before you get him. Yeah, Emmanuel, I think he already has Tavernier. So I think he's asking who to bring in and then who should he bench. So Charlie, to square that off, I would bring Wilson in and then I would probably bench Tavernier. I'd play Wilson, Rodgers, and Mbeumo and Bruno, and then do a 3-4-3. And obviously play Ekitike, Haaland, Thiago. I'd bench Tavernier. If he starts, you know, that's annoying. But then at least you might be a bit more informed, because to Emmanuel's point, you then see how many minutes he's going to get. Like if he comes in this week and plays 90, he might be fit to play midweek. You just kind of never know. But that's why Tavernier would. I personally, I'm avoiding Tavernier. All right, team. I'm going to pop my league code in. If you've not joined, I'll pin that as well. If you've not joined my league, then please join, because it's always fun. I like to see you. Manuel, you're getting close. What are you, 37 points behind? Saba, which one's you again? Is it Juggernaut? I know that's Savio. Charlie, I'm taking out you, Enzo, Chalobah, and Rice for Thiago, Tavernier, Van Dijk, and Wilson. That's a hell of a quad move. I love that. You're seriously upgrading your team, binning off Chelsea for Thiago. Okay, so you're 9th. Okay. I'll come back to you in a second, my friend. Marinko. So Charlie, I like the GUI move. I like the Enzo move. I like the Chalobah move. Rice is an interesting one, because I actually quite like Rice for the next couple. I think Chelsea aren't great, and for me, Rice has just been such a he's just ticking along, and I will get rid of Rice. but not anytime soon. I think Chelsea at home, Brighton away, and Everton at home are 3 really nice fixtures. And look at his last 3: 5-9-4 for a 7-something mil midfielder. I think Rice is nice. Charlie, I assume you are bringing Tavernier in because you can afford him. Sorry about that. That's Emmanuel. That's very funny. So Charlie, I like the Thiago move. I like the Van Dijk move, and I like the Wilson or Danga move. Is there any way you can make those transfers happen without having to get rid of Rice and bring in Tavernier? Because personally, I would suggest sitting on that for a little bit longer, or is the Tavernier move the enabler to make all that happen? But then also at the same time, if you're going to bring him in and bench him, yeah, whatever. And if play him for 30 and 31, that's fine. But that's some serious upgrades. If you can make those 4 transfers, then that's nice. I really like that. Your wife plays at FPL, Emmanuel. That's cool. I think my wife just thinks I'm a weirdo that just talks to random people on the internet about fantasy sports players, which obviously is true. Charlie, are you subscribed to the channel, mate? Have you been on one of my live streams before? If you're not and you're getting value, then smash the like button on the stream and hit subscribe to FPL Hauly. Really appreciate it. Yeah, okay, you do have to sell Rice to make that work. Yeah, fair enough. The Rice thing, that will make sense because you're getting rid of Rice in order to bring in players that have good fixtures in the next 4 and they play in blank game week 31, whereas Rice doesn't. So that totally makes sense. Now, I'm in a slightly different boat. I have a bit of cash in the bank, so I don't have to sell Rice. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing Miley to Dango, which I know is a bit of a... everyone's suggesting making that move this week. I think it's solid. I think Dango's really set my world on fire, but I've already got Wilson. And then I can just I can bench Enzo this week, play Dango, and do a 3-4-3. But I'm gonna keep and play Rice. Just love the fixture run for Dango. Yeah, there's no one else really screaming at me. So 14th of March, what is that? What fixture is the 14th of March? Week 30. Yeah. How many people have bought in certain players this game week? So Virgil is the most transferred in, then O'Reilly, then Thiago. So it's funny, Dango's not even on this list. And if you like live in the Twitter sphere and watch certain content creators, it feels like every person and his dog is bringing in Dango this week. But what would you guys do with my team? I'll just zoom out a little bit. What would you guys do? 2 free transfers, 1.6 million in the bank. So like selling Enzo, I could do. But I'm just really trying to save as many of my transfers as I can to navigate the blank. Game week 31. Now, the big thing with Game week 31 is that if we get news that City and Palace don't even blank, which I think is a small chance, but there's still a chance, that would change everything, because then that becomes super easy to navigate. Like you just bench your Arsenal assets. Obviously, I don't have any Wolves, but yeah, what would you guys do? So what I'm going to really quickly just take a look at some stats around home and away. Let's do teams. So let's do Leeds at home. Yeah, Leeds at home. Actually, I could do that. Just do it per appearance. So Leeds at home, expected goals conceded 1.1, and they're conceding a goal a game at home, and their expected clean sheets is 0.4. And then what about Palace away? Yeah, Palace away is good as well. So Palace away actually has the 5th best, even, but then that's still 1.4. But they've actually got a better expected clean sheet. Yeah, interesting. I think captaincy is going to be really tough this week, and honestly, I actually don't have a strong enough opinion either way. I'm not gonna go for Ekitike because he's just not doing enough for me right now to really instill any confidence in me. I'm delighted I've got him and I'll play him, but I don't think that Thiago or Ekitike are doing enough for me right now to make me want to captain them. The real debate for me is when Haaland and Bruno. I think, to be honest, just based on my rank, I think if I was chasing, I'd play Bruno. And in a way, I guess I kind of am. What am I? Yeah, 112, 113k. Like, it's fine. And what I am really backing myself to do is be able to navigate blank game week 31, wildcard 32, and then that sequence of wildcard, bench boost, free hit. I really feel like I can start to get some rank halvers around then. Although, like, you know, the meta move and the templates will be to do exactly what I'm doing. So I'm hardly doing something out of the ordinary. So that always makes it hard to really get big rank changes. But I do just feel around that time this planning will pay off, because if I can avoid hits and if I can navigate without splurging chips, then. Another question for me is, do I play Munoz away at United, Van der Ven away at Fulham, or Rodon at home to Man City? Talk to me, Charlie. What are we saying? Rayan, Gabriel, Van Dijk, Anderson, and Bomo, Bruno, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland. Oh, you've locked it in. Okay, nice. Is that Anderson with an E, as in Fulham Anderson defender. I assume it is because you're playing a 3-4-3. Yeah. So Gabriel Van Dijk. I think that's Anderson from Fulham, and then Mbeumo, Bruno, Rogers, Wilson, Haaland. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay, you made the moves. Cool. And then Dubravka, Tavernier, Richards, and Dorgu. Nice. That's a really strong team, mate. Good luck with that one, Charlie. And yeah, mate. Thanks for liking the stream, bud. And if you're not subscribed already, please do, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'll be doing another live stream on Tuesday before the Game Week 29 deadline. So hopefully catch you then, my friend. Thanks, Charlie. Mind yourself, mate. See you next time. Oh, there he is, Charlie Bird. Just joined the chat. That's a solid overall rank. Yeah, really good. There's Esther. I'm Breaker. Love that. Oh, great rank. Look at that. 500k. Doing very well. How are you doing, Emmy? Yeah, nice. 300. You both are doing really well. Husband and wife. You two should start making content. I don't know who this guy is, Jonas. He joined the league. I've never seen him before, but doing well. I need to catch him. What's his overall rank? 16k. Wow. Jonas, if you're out there, give me some tips. The thing is with my defence is I can't really see Palace, Spurs or City keeping a clean sheet. So I'm kind of just going for attack and upside. And I know that all three of them have potential, but just Munoz is just next level. I love the man. Particularly with Lacroix coming back on Thursday. Saba, Emmanuel, can I help with anything, guys? What's your dilemmas this game week? Just going to check the betting markets for these clean sheet odds, because unless I can see something. Unless I can see something for like Spurs, but like Spurs are just in such bad. They're in such bad form. They're literally in relegation form. Hey Hakeem, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Chalobah to Konate or Enzo to Dango. I assume you can't afford Van Dijk? Because if you did, I assume you'd probably be trying to move for him. Konate's an interesting one. He doesn't really offer a huge amount of attacking threat, but he's actually, yeah, okay. Tough. Tough. That's really tight, because I feel like they'll probably both score a very similar amount of points. Konate, clean sheets, Defcon, Dango. You've obviously got the potential for the attacking returns. You're last in the league. Bless you. Let's try and help you out. Oh, that's a stinker of a game week. Look at that. 2s and 3s. That's painful. Sorry, my friend. How come you benched Haaland? That was brave. Alrighty. So I guess the question we can have here is, well, who would you play instead? So fair enough. So it's funny because I'm the opposite. I'm an Arsenal fan. So usually I actually hedge against Arsenal, because then I'm like, well, if the player playing against them does well, at least I've got the FPL points. But yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, Hakeem. I appreciate that. So my advice this game week would be, don't bench Haaland. So you're going to play a 3-4-3. You're going to want to play you'll play Hall. You'll play problem is, who are you going to bench though? Hakeem, if you're going to bench Timber, would you not just do Timber to Van Dijk? I'll be very honest with you. I think, even though I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm usually very skeptical, I actually think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet against Chelsea. I have double Arsenal defence, and I mean, Raya's my goalkeeper, so I'm happy to play him. But if you're going to bench him, Hakeem, as in Timber, and then he plays Brighton away, and then, okay, Everton at home's a nice fixture. But if you know that Timber's blanking, and you've actually not got that many blankers, so you're kind of okay. You've got Gabriel, Haaland, Timber. Yeah, so actually, you don't need to sell. So if Timber's a long-term hold for you, oh, you've got Klein though. He's a dead spot. Yeah, so you need to neaten one of those up. So you could get rid of Klein. I just think you've got some benching headaches there. I can see why you'd want to get rid of Chalobah and Enzo, but could you just bench Chalobah? Yeah, quite possibly. I'll take the double clean sheet though, but say goodbye to our title hopes. Who's got who this week? I need to brush up a bit better on my fixtures. So Forest away at Brighton. So yeah, you could play Gibbs White. You're obviously going to play. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you play Rayan. Who's Everton got? Yeah, away at Newcastle. Sorry, you said you're going to bench. Who are you going to bench? Jai, Timber, Klein. Oh, so you're playing Gibbs White? Yeah, I mean, he's talismanic, and you're obviously going to play Soboslai. So when Jai drops out, Hakeem, if it was me, I would play Timber, bench Chalobah, and do Enzo to Dango. But you could also quite easily do Timber to Van Dijk, for example, and then you could just play a 3-4-3. And I'd yeah, toughie. But yeah, I'd be inclined to do that. I'd probably stick with the double Arsenal, play Timber, and then do Enzo too. I'm still really undecided on my picks, if I'm honest. I've had such a busy week at work this week. I've just not even had a chance to think about. I think, yeah, Riley is great. I've been very lucky to have held him. But again, I wouldn't put that down to a master stroke on my part. It's just more, I've just had fires in other parts of my team, and there's just been way more important stuff to do. And also his minutes have just been really good. And I'm always like, well, City are a great team. They very could likely win the league this season, even though they're not good, as people say. So yeah, I'm very happy to have O'Reilly. My headache is going to be when I get to game week 31, I'll want Haaland and Gabriel. So who do I sell? It would probably be Munoz probably at this point, but do I sell O'Reilly or Munoz? Yeah, he did. And he was so attacking. I did not expect that at all, like completely. Yeah, completely unexpected. So I very happily take the points. And to be honest, O'Reilly's been the only reason that I've got a green. Oh, back-to-back greens? Yeah, a green at the very least. But yeah, what's my points? So for the clean sheet, so for my headache, I'm just looking at Solio screenshot, which I really like, and I'd recommend. They do really good stuff on like clean sheet odds and stuff. So you've got Arsenal, 37% clean sheet, which is the best. Then Brentford away at Burnley, which I find very interesting because I feel like Burnley can score. They can't defend, but they can definitely score. Then you've got Brentford and Man United both on 36%. And then you've got Bournemouth and Newcastle on 35%. Then you've got Villa and Liverpool at 34%. Surprised at Liverpool at home to West Ham. I would have thought they would be one of the highest. And then you've got City, 33%. Then Brighton, 30%, Fulham, 29%. So Spurs are only 19% to keep clean sheet. So that's Van de Ven. Crystal Palace are only 13% to keep clean sheet. And Leeds are 14%. So this is what I don't understand. They've put the odds have Van de Ven at, albeit not a great chance, but like nearly 20%. That's 1 in 5 to get a clean sheet. And then Van de Ven can always pop up with a goal. I don't know. Who do you guys bench? I feel like I'm on a bit of a hiding to nothing with this one. Rodon could get DEFCON. Yeah. I really don't feel like there's much in it. But just like Spurs' form has just been so bad. But then they've had a week now with the new manager. Tudor is notoriously good at, getting a team to tighten up, I guess is the phrase. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? And then captaincy. You're coming on here being like, Josh, give us the answers. And there's me being like, I don't even know myself. Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Sabbath. So one thing I would say though is I have PTSD flashbacks to a stream I did early in the season. I think it was like game week 13 or something, maybe even earlier. And it was when Crystal Palace were on a really good run of form and Munoz was delivering. And Palace were away to Arsenal. Ah, you remember, of course you do. And Leeds were home to West Ham. Yeah. And my bus team had Rodon to start and Munoz on the bench. And then I did a poll and Rodon scored. Yeah, exactly. So and it was like an 11-point swing or something. And it just stays with me. But the thing is that Munoz is my bus team. So coming into this stream, when I kind of did my team really quickly and yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And the interesting with Rodon is that they didn't even keep a clean sheet against West Ham. He got a goal, which was really rare for him. So that's just my one. And it's the same two players, and it's again Munoz away and Rodon's at home, and I don't know. It all feels a little bit too. Yeah, I'm overthinking it. Maybe I should make these deadline stream 5 minutes, and then I just come in, answer some questions, don't think about my team, and then just go to the pub. I haven't even made my transfer. God, imagine if I was just doing all this waffling and there's me being like, oh yeah, I don't need to do anything. I have to make a transfer. So yeah, mine is going to be, I want to do Miley to Dango and then I'll bench Enzo. Play Rodon. Saba, come on, mate. You're screwing with my head here. Hey, we said that about Munoz, and he didn't even get def DC for against Arsenal. That exact. I remember it was Savio was in the chat, and he said Munoz has a baseline of 4, and Munoz, I think he might have even got a yellow card, but he definitely only got 2 points. So yeah, I do agree with what you're saying there, but yeah. There he is, the man, Dango. All right, I'm just going to do that now. So yeah, Miley to Dango. And then I will play Dango over Enzo. That's giving me even more of a benching, I don't know. Who do I play? Who do I bench now? What was I thinking? No, actually, yeah. Nah, I'm all in on my chip strategy. I want to my game week 33 bench boost is going to be triple pointer. It's going to be 100 points plus because it'll be loads of blanking players. I reckon this bench boost would get me. The thing I don't like as well is I've gone. If you did bench boost, you're basically hedging Dubravka for 2 of your Brentford attack to blank, basically. Enzo, Arsenal away, Van der Ven, Rodon. Like, yeah, you could. But I think I'm going to stick with my gut, and I'm going to stick with Moses. I just feel like he could get something, and he can just look so attacking for that Palace team. I feel like he's high upside.
Hey, Jason. I am going to bench boost in game week 34. No, I'm going to bench boost in game week 33. I'm not sure if you watched my latest video, Jason, but I will wildcard. So I'm going to basically look to navigate blank game week 31 with the Carabao Cup final with free transfers. I'm then going to wildcard game week 32, bench boost in double game week 33 because I've played my triple captainship, and then I will free hit in game week 34. What game week were you thinking, my friend?
This isn't easy now because I'm stuck on who to bench, Van Hecke or Ryan. What else does your bench look like, Justin? Are you in my league, mate? Let me know if you are or are not in your league. I would just suggest that a bench boost can be a very powerful chip. And if your bench is looking really good, there's two train of thoughts with bench boosts. Some people are just like, I just want to get rid of them. They restrict me and I don't like them. And if that's how you feel about it and you're like, my bench feels good, I feel like I could score 8+ points from this bench boost, from playing my bench boost this week, I would say just go and play your bench boost. Cooper Jr. and Anderson Martinez. So have you made any transfers? What have you done? How does your team look any different to this? Have you made any transfers? Enzo to Wilson. Yeah, I mean, so you'd have Sunderland and Dubravka, double Arsenal, O'Reilly, Rayan, Rice, Semenyo, Bruno. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. There could be some slight risk with Krupi and his minutes. Tavernier's back. You've got Rayan already. So Krupi could either not start or be pulled early, but he's been getting subs quite early already. Yeah, and you want to play Anderson. Spurs and Brighton are home to Forest. Yeah, I can totally see the logic behind why you'd want to play your bench boost this game week. I think that bench boost could do well for you. The thing that's really hard as well is that it's like with the triple captainship. Obviously, in hindsight now, I wish I hadn't have played it in Gabriel, but you either play what you know in the short term or you hope that what is going to come in the future is a better option. The doubles in game week, because then that's a question for you as well, Giselton, is do you have your triple captain chip? Hey, Bruno, talk to me. What do you need help with? You're in my league, aren't you, Bruno? Is that you, Bruno Magnifico? Oh, okay, so you've already used your triple captain. Yeah. It's a tough one, Giselton, but just to square that off, mate, I totally back that logic if you want to play your bench boost with that team. That makes a lot of sense. You have a lot of benching headaches. So if you go, I think Anderson could get a clean sheet, which he definitely could. Dubravka could do well. You could easily get 10+ points with that bench boost. So yeah, and then that for me is a great bench boost. So play it. Okay. Yeah. Because then if you've got your wild card for game week 32, like me, you can wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. And that bench boost, as it stands with the FA Cup draw, could be a really nice big doubler. So you could really set your team up to maximize the doubles with wildcard and then maximize the bench boost as well. Would you do Collins to VVD or Enzo to Wilson this week? I would have to start Munoz if I keep Collins, or I can get both VVD and Wilson for a -4. Sounds like a good plan. Yeah, cool, Giselton. No worries, my friend. Best of luck this game week. So let's have a look at your team. Collins to Van Dijk or Enzo to Wilson. You'd have to start Munoz. Hey, Johan, you're the one that's top of my league, aren't you? I was just talking about you earlier. You're doing really well, my friend. If I was you, I would do Haaland. That's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, we've spoken before. I remember. Yeah. We've spoken before. You asked me a similar question, and I was like, what's your rank? And it's insane. Yeah, you're doing really well, mate. Well done. I'm going to probably play it safe and go with Haaland. If I was chasing, I'd go Bruno. Sorry, Bruno. Would you do Collins to be do Enzo for us this week? I'd have to start Munoz. So I'm starting Munoz away at Man United. I honestly, I think your team's really not that bad. I would be avoiding hits if you can. Could you play this guy, the Brighton guy? Because they're at home to Brighton are at home to Forest this week. Could you play catalog you? Yeah, his minutes are secure. Could you play Kaladoglu and Munoz? I would be trying to avoid hits if I was you. Yeah, okay. So you're starting Gabriel, Kaladoglu, and Munoz, benching Collins. Yeah, Wilson would be nice, but I wouldn't. And then you're playing Rodgers, and you're playing Lefty. Bruno, I'd do Enzo to Wilson if I was you, and try and avoid a hit. Yeah, I agree. That's what I would do. Yeah. Good luck, my friend. Because the problem is taking a hit, you need Van Dijk to get a clean sheet to kind of win that hit back, and then you're kind of like, well, your net. I'd just play Kaladoglu and Munoz, hope Munoz gets attacking return like I'm going to, and then Harry Wilson, I think, is the pick this week. Bench Lafy or that's tough. I'd probably bench Lafy. Yeah, I'd play Njai. I think that they both are on pens, but Njai's just got more routes to points. And Newcastle actually aren't that good at home this season. They're actually defensively very good away from home. They're struggling at St James's Park, so I would play Njai. All right, team, we have 1 minute. Wow, that crept up on me. All right, so I'm going to play Munoz, and Saba, you can be my witness for this. That was my bus team choice, and I'm not bowing to peer pressure. I've made my transfer, so Dango's come in. I did Miley to Dango, so that's got rid of a dead spot for me in 31 and Boy and Dango for the next 4, which I'm happy with. And I'm going to stay with Haaland captain. I'm going to stay with Haaland captain. Yeah. All right, team. Make your last minute decisions and get your captains and your vice captains locked in. Get your bench organized. Obviously, for me, Van de Ven and Rodon are going to haul because I've gone back and forth, and Munoz is going to get sent off. 6 of you in the chat. That is it. The deadline has passed. If you found that helpful, team, please like the stream. It really helps. And if you've not already subscribed to FPL Hauly, please smash that subscribe button now. Thank you so much. Best of luck in game week 28. And I will be back on Tuesday with a deadline stream an hour before the game week 29 deadline. Good luck this weekend, team. I'll chat to you on this other side. Bye, friends.